here's Brody Brazil.
I certainly don't say this with any pleasure or content, but if I'm strictly looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates as the casual observer here, I think it might be safe to say they just had one of the worst months ever to start off a Major League Baseball season. And I get it, we're probably more like 6 or even now maybe 7 weeks into this 2025 campaign, but let's just call it about a month, the end of March, all of April, and maybe the first handful of days of May. So many bad things have happened to and with the Pittsburgh Pirates, some of them in the team's control, others of them out of team control, but it's just an overall bad vibe surrounding the Bucks right now in Pittsburgh. And we can just start here on 2025 opening day. Fans already with bags over their head. The sell the team movement to owner Bob Nutting was in full effect. There was even a confrontation he had with some of the fans on that left field rotunda out there. Not going to show you that, but I will show you this. All of these disgruntled Pirates fans, some of which rented out a plane with a banner that said, "Sell the team, Bob. Our team, not his.com." They were not afraid to make their voices heard. And how about this? I see 2 Paul Skeens jerseys. The problem is that one right there is a legit Paul Skeens Pirates jersey. He was the team's opening day starter. He is the phenom of the future for this baseball team. Heck, he's the phenom of the present right now for the Pirates. Wait a second. They were playing the Yankees in that first weekend? Is this a Paul Skeens Yankees jersey? Now, I know they don't wear the names on the backs of Yankees jerseys. That just goes to show you somebody did this 100% on purpose. And I don't know whether that was a Pirates fan trolling his own fan base or a Yankees fan trolling Pirates fans, and it kind of leads to that narrative that it could be this way. The Pirates aren't ever going to pay Paul Skeens. They'll let him go after free agency, or they'll trade him during the arbitration years. It's unbelievable that somebody would think of this, actually pull this off, and then we look at it and say, yeah, but is he wrong? Is it bad if it's untrue? Or is it bad if it's very possible? It's probably the best way to look at it. Something like this could very well happen. Skeens on the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Cubs, you name it, a high-dollar payroll team. Pirates owner Bob Nutting was commenting on the fans in that first opening series and the opening homestand. I understand their anger, he said. I understand their concerns and understand they want the team to win. I do too. I have led organizations and I have filtered out and focused on the most important tasks, and that's exactly what we need to do here in Pittsburgh. We need to focus on winning. Well, what did you think the people doing the jobs were doing before? They just might not be the right people, or you're not paying for the right people, or not making the right decisions. This is not a software company. This is not a tech firm. Winning doesn't just happen. You need to cultivate a baseball atmosphere and environment and have the right culture that produces winning. And on the field, look, the Pirates have been struggling forever. They've made the playoffs 3 times only since the 1992 season in 3 straight years, 13, 14, and 2015. They never got past the NLDS in all of those runs. They've only had 1 winning season record out of the last 10 years. They've only had, and this is not a typo, 4 winning records in the last 32 seasons. Think about that for just a second. A lot of you watching this may not even be 32 years old. The Pirates have only had 4 winning seasons, if you're 32, in your lifetime. And right now, by the way, in the NL Central, they're already last in the division standing so far this year. That's kind of what I wanted to point out there. This is during, I think, the opening homestand as well. The Pittsburgh Clothing Company, they noticed on Twitter, hey, just realized they replaced the Clemente logo on the right field wall with a Surfside ad. They absolutely did. It's a hard drink, a hard seltzer. It's a vodka drink. I mean, I would like to try it. I still haven't. No disrespect to Surfside, Surfline, whatever they're called. But Roberto Clemente Jr. sees this on Twitter and responds to it with, wow. And social media just went nuts over this. Darrelle Revis, Clint Hurdle, a lot of prominent people chiming in to say, this is not at all a good representation of ownership. You took down Roberto Clemente sign, a tribute sign that you put up. And granted, the wall is 21 feet in right field. There's other smaller 21s, but this was kind of a big deal. And it was also a throwback logo that they used to have at Three Rivers Stadium They copied it over for PNC Park, and they put it up a couple years ago, and now they took it down and they replaced it. It's one thing to take it down. I mean, you could just move it, right? Put it somewhere else. But to completely take it away and only put up an ad for Surfside, there it is, iced tea vodka. To completely replace it with an ad, right? You can see why that rubbed fans the wrong way. So the Pirates came out with this statement initially to say, well, the 21-foot high wall that officially bears Roberto Clemente's name continues to and will forever display his number 21 on 2 separate locations. The temporary wall sign in question, the logo, the decal they took down, was put in place prior to the 2022 season and was never meant to be a permanent tribute, simply another cap tip to the great one. We apologize that we didn't directly communicate that fact to the Clemente family and our fans. Well, guess what? The Pirates got a lot of kickback over this statement, this comment right here. So at this point, right, they're saying we took it down and we're not putting it back up. Guess what the Pirates were basically forced to do? Yeah, they put it back up after public pressure. They also removed these Bucko bricks, right? We did this story here on the YouTube channel. These were commemorative bricks that people bought into when PNC Park was being built 25 plus years ago, $150, $200 a brick. You've seen this before at a lot of other ballparks, or like at Disneyland, they do this. Problem is, when fans showed up, they noticed this year that it was just paved over and the bricks were entirely gone. Watch
After
this.
months of frustrated fans asking KDKA, where's my Bucko brick? Tonight we can now tell you those bricks that line the sidewalks outside PNC Park, in many cases honoring family members, have been found. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Ken Rice.
And I'm Kim Gable. In a story you'll see only on KDKA, our Chris Hoffman learned today it looks like those bricks are gone for good.
Watch this.
Pictures and videos sent to us show those Bucko bricks being brought to facilities like this one in Reserve Township, where building material is brought to be recycled.
I'm overreacting, but are you serious? You didn't tell anybody, and then you let the news stations go find the bricks, and you let people find the bricks and say, you didn't even, you're doing this behind our backs? Like, were you not going to say anything? I mean, just be transparent. It's not that hard. So KDKA, television station in Pittsburgh, a legendary one, in fact, says, according to the Pirates, this is the 3rd iteration of the bricks. Wait, in 25 years, you go through bricks every 8 years? What kind of bricks are you using? They've been replaced before as they break down due to weather and foot traffic. What? The team said it's aware of the bricks' sentimental meaning to fans. So wait, they've replaced these before? And they put them back before. Why didn't they just put them back again? They plan on developing a new display for the messages and names. And then the Pirates had this statement. When we laid these bricks outside of PNC Park nearly 25 years ago, we invited our fans to join us in building our future on the North Shore together. Through the years, a host of environmental factors, including weather and foot traffic, have led to significant damage, leading to multiple full-scale replacements. Okay, either replace them again or let people know that you've been doing this all along. This cycle of deterioration prompted our organization to look for a better way to preserve these cherished messages over the long term. Okay, I can appreciate that, but just let people know. We respect, appreciate, and understand just how meaningful these messages are. We share in that feeling. We've been actively planning to develop and unveil a more permanent display for these special messages to honor the enduring support that our fans shared then and continue to share in our future. We look forward to sharing those details soon in celebration of our 25th season. But again, all of this reactionary to the fact that they didn't tell anybody about the removal of the bricks in the first place. And then there's this. During that Cubs-Pirates game from a couple weeks ago now, I thought it was a 21-year-old. That night and the day after, we believed that it was a 21-year-old fan who might have overconsumed and been overserved a few drinks, fell onto the warning track head first while kind of, I guess, jumping for joy off a Pirates hit that scored a run, and we've all seen the video, and I'm still choosing not to use the video or even a still clip of what actually happened. By now, you've likely seen it. You don't need me to explain it. Look at Andrew McCutchen's reaction. Look at the reaction of the Cubs infielders right there as they kind of witness this all unfold in real time. Now, how much control did the Pirates have over this situation other than maybe rails that are a little bit too low? not high enough, but I'm sure they passed code when the ballpark was built. Like, we're not getting in the weeds on that conversation. I'm just saying, in terms of a worst month ever and bad things that could have happened. Now, I understand that this 20-year-old is still in the hospital, still needs a ton of recovery to happen before he can live a normal life. But herein lies another problem. If he really was consuming a lot of alcohol, I mean, the age alone just doesn't shake, right? 20 years old, I think it's 21, legal drinking age in Pennsylvania. So that's a problem there too, right? There's just so many things that are wrong about this Pirates season. This one, a little more freak and less controllable, but it happened to the Pirates at one of their games, and they were part of it. Like, back to baseball, back to something a lot less important here than life and death. The Pirates were the first Major League Baseball team of this season to fire their manager. Derek Shelton didn't even make it to mid-May. Think about that, going through the offseason and spring training in the first couple weeks, and you don't even get to mid-May? You don't even get to the 10th of May? And you're done? You're out? Just like that? So instability of a franchise, and then it kind of sets the tone. Now you have to have an interim manager and figure that out the rest of the year. That's another really bad thing that's happened. And then this. Now, I have used some still images here. The video we've probably all seen. There was a fight at PNC Park between a fan and a stadium employee, and I even feel like I'm doing the wrong thing in showing you these still images. So we'll move on quickly in just a second. The fact that something like this happened. And I don't even know the entire backstory because I'm not even prepared to comment on how this happened or why this happened. But the fact that a fan thought that, I think, spitting on the employee, and then the employee thought that fighting back and using a belt instead of calling for more backup and resources, like, that is just about as ugly as it gets for a professional sports franchise to have one of your employees fighting a fan, a stadium employee or a team employee, whatever that person is, fighting a fan. It's awful. So the Clemente sign, the Bucko bricks, the fan who fell, the fight with the usher and the fan, sell the team movement, the manager getting fired, and, oh yeah, the team in last place. I think you can safely say that the Pittsburgh Pirates just started off with the worst month ever in Major League Baseball. And in fact, I challenge you to tell me a team who's had more stuff than that, who's had it worse, who's been through worse, or who's put themselves in a worse situation than the Pirates have so far in this first month plus of the baseball season. Let me know down in the comments section below. Also, while you're down there, thumbs up on this video. Helps me, the video, and the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. That way I can definitely see you back here next time.